What is this contest that we were talking about before the cameras got turned on?
First of all, Commander, thank you so much that there is now a media committee along with two historians. That in itself is historic.
Okay. Historic. I like it.
Yes.
Yes.
So the difference between history and media content in your mind is the word digital. Digital media helps you think automatically of media on the go for all the social media platforms in short form via posting on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
No,
LinkedIn,
that I get. You know, I'm a
YouTube.
huge fan.
Format.
I'm a huge fan of that. But when I think historian, to be honest, when I came in here in 2012, all I have in my mind is someone running around trying to take pictures.
Exactly.
And actually, usually the person wasn't all that good.
Oh my goodness.
So we wouldn't get really good pictures.
Yes, and so therein lies the difference, the overlap in being the historian versus the comedia chair is that the historian is looking to document the post's improvements, their videos, and what they've done for the good of the Legion.
Right. So now with that coming online, and it seems like quite a few things have been coming out online lately with your name on it. It's pretty talented.
No.
Pretty talented. Where's this going to be hosted, housed, stored? Is it going to be on some sort of drive? Or what's the plan for that?
Oh, yes. Our post is awesome because we have a team. We have a literal team. So the way that you can think of the media team structure is through the committee side with Jared leading the committee and assigning us ways to cover the events and ways to think about the history of the post in a certain way. That will become our template. And then we have our committee of technicians, which we have Jeremy, and he will help us to document in long and short form the events and also the podcast. And he is going to be contributing media in certain formats, like long and short formats. And then I will be doing some writing along with Matt Louie. And the historians, what they do is they write blog posts, narratives, and they back it up with photos, still photos, and video.
Well, you're raising a level. I just don't recall that type of an agenda with the historians, and I think it's pretty awesome. And I think it's also an opportunity to carry on legacy, because a lot of the times we join an organization or we join a group or we coming into this country, whatever it is, we don't appreciate the legacy and how we got here. And I took the American Legion College, or that orientation course, when I had heard that the American Legion was responsible for the VA and started in 1919 and all kinds of other stuff. I didn't know that at the time. I'm like, that's right, I belong to the American Legion.
Exactly.
So with all this stuff kind of being stored up, especially our post, Pacific Palisades, I just think it gives a lot more meaning to the people who are joining, the generations coming behind us. Let's talk about Veterans Day week. I don't know about you. I think I went to 9 events, like 2 in one day, and 7 throughout the week, almost 1 every single day. How about you? Did you go to a lot of events?
Yes, I went to quite a few of the events you went to, and I also went out of state to another.
Out of state?
Yes, another amazing celebration for the 250th Marine Corps birthday.
Hoorah! Yeah. That I think, because I'm getting older, I turned 60 this year, I really am starting to value some of the things that I've gone through and appreciate finer things in life. I'm going to buy a Marine Corps uniform, one that fits. There's no way I could fit into the one, that I have now, but I want to start going to those balls dressed up that way, which means I'm probably going to have to get caught up on like how to wear the ribbons and what, order you're supposed to have. So that's really, really cool. But the post, let's talk about that. Let's get to, November 8th first?
Oh, yes.
We'll talk about November 8th. A year and a half ago, we started an initiative, which is media. And that was a bit broad at the time, and we didn't know how it was going to unfold. But we knew, as a post, as a generation, as leadership, that we needed to get, more involved in media. Then what it kind of transitioned to was that there's plenty of veterans out there that are in media. Plenty of veterans. And then what we saw was, okay, and we kind of already knew this, but when we studied it a little bit more, we saw that a lot of the major studios weren't really engaging with veterans as much as they used to. They're moving outside of the state. A lot of veterans, as well as people who are non-veterans in the industry, aren't working. But we saw a gap in the recognition of those veterans. So we provided that gala in May, which a lot of people are aware about, and also attended. So then we decided to do a short film festival here in November. And one of the ladies, one of the partners, Donna, decided to put a fashion show on top of that. And boy, was that, fun, to say the least. But what we did, and I'll let you carry it on, it was sort of like a hybrid fashion show, short film festival in one day, celebrating Veterans Day and pretty much the weekend, and all of those veterans in film, media, behind the scenes. How would you explain your experience? And you were, by the way, on the walkway.
Oh, yes.
You were one of the models on one of the teams.
Yes.
I didn't know there was teams. I didn't know it was that organized. But anyway,
yes.
Why don't you share about that a little bit? Because I think, we were up to over 600,000 views when it comes to impressions, clicks, and likes and comments so far over the event.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That was an amazing experience. First of all, the Culver City Veterans Memorial Auditorium is a historic place, and the event made history, combining media, entertainment, film, and fashion. That was an exceptional explosion of talent on the red carpet, which started at 2 p.m., onto that catwalk by 3 o'clock p.m., 4 teams, A, B, C, and D.
Oh, my gosh.
We're able to walk that catwalk with fashion by one of our women Legionnaires who's chairing the committee, Donna Quach, and some other amazing designers. So my first debut modeling was amazing. Some of the photography, not my favorite of myself.
That's all right.
Because we're critical creatures,
of course,
but beautiful. An outstanding display of veteran dresses that were with military couture designs, a lot of high fashion from cultural places around the world. It was absolutely beautiful.
And you know what? When the first 2 or 3 ladies walked up, I don't know where you were. I don't know if you were behind the curtain or in the dressing rooms, but I got kind of emotional. Oh, yes. I really did, because they were playing, was it God Bless America? It was one of those patriotic songs.
It was, my goodness.
Right, and the women were walking up, and they had the sort of patriotic red, white, and blue dresses. I got emotional, because I was thinking, I don't think anyone has done this, and these are women, and they're in front of a bunch of people, and there's a lot of issues that we've all have gone through, and it was sort of like a community moment. I thought, not only of our post, but everybody there. I'm not exaggerating. I had my lump in my throat when that happened, and then after that, I turned into worrying about the whole event.
Yes. Wow. Veterans and members of the American Legion, we are patriots for life. Yes, Lee Greenwood's Proud to be an American.
That's what it was.
Followed by
That's what the song
Grace.
was. Right.
It was amazing to strut the dresses.
Now, how are you feeling? Were you nervous before you went up there?
Actually,
right.
I have to give it up. Veterans can do anything. Everyone was an immediate top model in their dresses. It's just something that we learned.
Right.
We even marched to cadence. And we marched.
That's right.
And showed off each dress. And
my wife was in there, so I was kind of watching her to see if, are you in step?
She's an honorary Marine.
Right. So, honorary Marine? Okay. But it was just so wonderful. Then what we did, any more on that?
That was an amazing, I do want to say, some of the models had a chance to model 2 and 3 different designs. And we had in the house another military member that key spouses are also part of the military. So Miss Cindy, and we had another radio podcasting personality joining us too, all the way from San Diego. So
Surrender.
Yes, Surrender from the Good Show. We had Marines and we had airmen, coasties, sailors, and soldiers all walking on the catwalk.
Right, and how about the host, Carrie Kasem?
Oh, man.
I felt like so, in a lot of ways honored, because her dad was a world-renowned radio, his voice was just known by many, many, many people.
Yes.
And here we are, having this event. She's involved with it. And then I don't know if you saw, because I know you were very busy back there, but we did give an award to her on, for her father and what he contributed as a way of continuing his legacy. And then we announced it at the end. It was a little bit fumbly because I don't know how it happened, but we got it out of order. And I remember her in backstage saying, "Did we forget the presentation?" And I'm like, "I don't think so." I mean, I'm looking at it. And I think it was because somebody went a little bit long.
I understand.
So I said, no matter what, I'm just going to go on the stage and just get into the award, whether it's on the schedule or not. But anyway, she was such a champ. She was so gracious. And she's at one point, she just said, "Hey, we're just going to go with the flow. We're just going to, this is not about perfection. This is not about everything being super high precision. This is about what we're doing." And there was a lot of community spirit. That's what it was, community spirit. So it was wonderful, in my opinion. And then we had the transition over to the Short Film Festival. I will say this, next year we'll do them separate. We'll do the film festival in November, a week or two after Veterans Day, and then we'll do the fashion show in October around Fashion Week, so that we can properly target the audience. Imagine what the algorithm must have been trying to figure out when we were putting out these ads. Someone who's going to like a short film festival veteran and also who's going to like fashion. You know what I'm saying?
Interesting.
So it was sort of like how, and so we were just shooting everywhere, not literally, but, pushing out the media everywhere we could. So we had about 300 people there. And this is Veterans Day, Marine Corps Ball, filled like festivities over that weekend. So we were able to still get 300 people out there and people still walking in. So I was actually pretty proud of the attendance. I was glad. I was happy with the attendance.
Yes. For two events, the inaugural MVA event gala at the Beverly Wilshire, that turned out amazing with thousands of guests. And now the fashion show and film festival, yes, I think it's going to be a complete success next year if you separate the two. But for this year, it really went well.
I think so too. With all of the stuff, that we went through for the first time, I got to say, just like what you just said, the veterans can just come through no matter what. Given any situation, and they're just going to step up. And that's what we all saw together. We were a little stressed out, but, at the end of the day, it's all about the veterans we were recognizing and the veterans who were participating. I was standing there off to the side as we move over to the Short Film Festival side of things. I was standing off to the side, and Kate Monroe came up to me, who I think is going to be a major player here. She just did a movie with Sean Kanan. They're out there promoting it. Hopefully we'll get them on Vetstream TV, and we'll do an event with them. And she said to me, "Look what's going on up there." And I'm looking up, and there's a filmmaker getting an award. And she said, what we're doing is really inspiring that filmmaker to continue going. We're recognizing his project in a big way that no one else will do. And as a result, I think it's a really good thing. But we need to build. We need to build from here, I think. Yes. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We've got to continue with this, our email list, stay in touch through our newsletter, and as the events come up, make sure that we gather. So on the Short Film Festival side, one thing that I realized, kind of going through the program a little bit, we had some films that were 40 minutes, and then we had some films that were like 3. So we're going to divide those two things. And then we did a Vietnam category, which we started back in May. And so if anyone sees this, it's very possible, see this before tomorrow, our membership meeting, if you need a reason to come, we're going to show the For My Brothers documentary, which is only 10 minutes. And they were the winners of the short doc Vietnam category by a veteran. Can't believe I got that out. That was kind of tough.
I got to speak with the overall best film winner. He was amazing. And he was accepting on behalf of another veteran that wrote the film, but he had the chance to star in the film as well. So
boy, was he happy. And did you know he was a Marine?
Yes, David is a Marine. We saluted and said happy birthday to each other, and he told me all about the film, and so I'll be looking forward to us having longer-term interviews with some of the winners over the next
And the person who did the movie was in Japan, right?
Yes.
And then I've been trying to email her because I'd like to get her film shown, maybe at a screening or so. So we're waiting on that. So I was very, very glad that he was there because he showed a lot of energy
Yes.
at the end. We have pictures of him with those 2 trophies,
Yes.
standing in front of the step and repeat. So tomorrow, which is November, what's today's date?
The 19th is tomorrow. Today's the 18th.
Okay, so tomorrow, November 19th, we're having our membership meeting, and so we're going to feature we'll actually announce the winners, which, by the way, was in the Hollywood Reporter.
Ooh,
It
congratulations.
was a Hollywood Reporter. Well, congratulations to you, too. You're a part of us. It was in the Hollywood Reporter, military.com, the Associated Press. I'm supposed to get back with some information for Leatherneck magazine, American Legion. So this is continuing to gather a lot of attention in the media for what we're doing. But really, I'd like for these filmmakers to continue on a path where they can continue making films, and we'll provide that platform, and then we'll recognize them through the awards. So hopefully people will come out and see them tomorrow night. But anyway, do you have any plans for tomorrow night? Are you going to do any interviewing?
Tomorrow night, what I really love about the American Legion is we have some really great talent on our executive committee and on our board. So we're going to be talking with a lot of our members so that the world can get to know us and what we do out of uniform.
Okay.
So that's going to be really important. Today we have coming up Matt Louie. Matt Louie served in the United States Army. We're going to be talking a little bit
He was in the
about
Army?
him and his role as historian at the host.
I always thought he was Navy for some reason.
Is he Navy?
No, I don't know. I'm just saying.
I know he was in the medical field, but that's it, Commander. We need to know more about our
Yes,
group
he very well could have been Army. I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
we'll have to check his DD-214, making sure he's should really be.
In order to be a member, you've got to have a DD-214.
Right,
It's
right.
easy to join us.
Which, by the way, your buddy Jeff Daly has a resolution to bring ID Me to the American Legion as part of the app so that you can get your DD-214. I noticed that anytime I'm trying to sign up a new person, like, where's my DD-214? Where do I get it? And we point them, maybe with an online service. And for whatever reason, it's always clunky. Or go down to the federal building. Maybe they can pull it up there. But, the DD-214 or to be verified through ID Me would be a wonderful thing for the Legion. So get busy there, national or whoever needs to.
Simplifying membership for us out there recruiting. In fact, I've been recruiting a lot out in the area here with women legionnaires that are potential members for us. You don't even have to live in our region to be
course
a part
not.
of our post.
That's
it's
right.
about the energy we bring, right?
That's right. And then we'll get together and come together. And listen, the American Legion really is a veteran resource organization at the end of the day. And I think sometimes we struggle in just staying together and making sure that we're getting tradition right and educating ourselves. But it is about the veteran, especially about the person or the veteran that just got out,
Right.
or the veteran who really is kind of isolated maybe. They don't have a home, they don't have a community, they don't have a plan, or they don't have other veterans around them. I mean, just like you and I when we get together, we can just talk and go because we're veterans, we're in the Marine Corps, and it's just that camaraderie that the American Legion brings, and I think us as a post bring as well.
Yes.
So
Well, on Veterans Day, we were together on the Santa Monica Pier.
Yep. All right. So let's talk about Santa Monica Pier. I often, and I want to be real here, I often feel a little disappointed that this town, I don't think, this is my opinion, is patriotic enough, right? And so when I went out to the pier and you see all those people get together, I think that's a cool thing.
Yes.
I did see some NPCs. So I'm like, but there was some people around watching, so maybe they didn't feel like they should have sat down or something like that. But for the mayor to be out there was a guy who did, is it Pink Boots for Netflix? He was one of the writers in the first episode. He was there.
I didn't know he was there.
Yeah, he was. He was in the first row, sitting next to the mayor. And we had the Medal of Honor there. We had Sankey there, as civilian aide to the Army, Secretary of the Army. So it was really, really nice don't you think?
I think it was well structured and very nice.
Right.
And I thought it was well populated. We had the Army recruiters out there.
Right.
We had some booths. We had the California Calvet booth. We had benefits and services outreach information.
Yeah, I'm being a little
giveaways,
critical, but no, it was
tickets
really,
to the
really
pier.
nice. And then the flyover, we had a couple of flyovers and we couldn't see because of the clouds. It was a really cloudy day. So I'm joking around like, no, that was no flyover. That was special effects. That was, we just turned to make you think.
Yes.
No, there was a real flyover, and that's a lot of effort by those pilots to do that and to work with us on that. So,
And General Fenton was there. Lieutenant Colonel was there from the Army Battalion,
yeah.
LA Recruiting Battalion.
Right.
We had a lot of very special guests, yourself and
Right,
host.
right. And also, at the end, I don't know if you saw it, well, I think you were part of it. They got all us veterans together and they just took that picture at the
group
end.
photo.
I just thought, wow, that is like really, really cool. I really am so glad I served. I have a friend of mine, I won't mention his name now, but I'll ask his permission later. He tells me, joining the Marine Corps was the best mistake I've ever made. Right? Because like some of us join because we have to. Like I did. Like, you know, my girlfriend was expecting a baby, you know, and my first daughter, she's an attorney now, and I'm so proud of her, and married with twins and 2 other kids. Very successful attorney. But we were expecting her, and so I'm like, I better go get a job. And my dad was in the Air Force, and a lot of people have heard me say this. So like, whatever you do, if you're going to join the military, do not join. What do you think he said?
The Marine Corps.
Yeah, he says, do not join the Marine Corps. And I said, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Well, first of all, you like going against your dad or your parents because you want to challenge yourself. And then, you know, the Marine Corps is a challenge. And I got to admit, I do kind of like that blue uniform and, you know, the sword and the white cap. And to this day, they haven't really changed. I don't think they've changed at all branding-wise.
Right.
I mean, they may have changed the people because,
Correct.
you know, but branding-wise, it's still the same. So that's very, very appealing. So, okay, I went to after Veterans Day, and you were there too, now that I think about it.
Yes. Wait a minute. We got to stay on Veterans Day and talk about the freebies.
Okay, well, I didn't get a chance to do that.
You didn't?
No, because I had somewhere else to go.
That's how
What was
I
the
recruited
freebies?
members at CPK. I went to Handel's for delicious free ice cream. I went to CPK. I had a salad that was delicious, and then later on that evening, I went over to what was it that I get for a midnight snack?
What about the
me think
Bubba
of it.
Gumps? Did you go to Bubba Gumps? Because it seemed like everyone
I was
went.
going to, but it's crowded.
Oh,
It
was
so
it free
crowded.
there?
In-N-Out. There you go.
Oh,
I got
yeah.
the free
Oh, I went to
In-N-Out
In-N-Out.
burger. Oh, you did?
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
later on
good.
that night.
Good for you.
And they didn't hold back. It was like meal number 2. It was a double
Yes.
cheeseburger and fries on a soda.
Yes.
Loved it.
Yes.
A few years back, I walked into CPK and I had my Marine hat and a veteran shirt. You know, I'm strutting in there, and they said, "Do you have proof that you're a veteran?" I was kind of insulted, but I guess it's kind of true. I mean, I pulled out my American Legion card. It was all crumbled up.
Yes.
So I got my free stuff. Yeah, I didn't see that list around. Sometimes I've seen a list circulate on the internet about all these places where you can go. That is so nice.
Yes.
It really, really is. They don't have to do that.
Yes.
That's just, it does say thank you, you know, that you served. And even at Starbucks, I don't know what they did this year, but the year prior,
Yeah.
you know, it was a cup of coffee. And I went in there, you know, and got my cup of coffee. What else? Oh, any other freebies on Veterans Day?
Especially in this day and age, it's really important that restaurants are doing this. In this
Yes.
economy, it's great to honor veterans.
Well,
We deserve it.
I thought the same thing, especially when it came to In-N-Out, because
Yeah.
I would think that a lot of people would go there.
Yeah.
To this day, I mean, it's very tasty. Don't get me wrong. I love it. I don't get why the lines are always long.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't, I mean, I'm not going to stand in line that line. I'm not going to, that's why I go inside.
Yes.
I don't take the car and go to the drive-thru.
Yeah.
I even drop my my daughter off so that she can go somewhere else because she watches what she eats and stuff like that.
Oh, I see.
Right. So, but we go inside when we eat at In-N-Out. All right. I was going to get to New Directions. Can we get to New Directions?
Yes, that event was
Okay.
spectacular as
So,
well.
but there is something to be said about New Directions, and this is why I really like supporting them, that they pick up where the VA can't. So if there's a veteran who can't be housed, can't be treated for certain things, and went through whatever they go through out there and can't get in, New Directions takes them.
Yes.
So it's a bit of a double-edged sword for them. It's great that they're there for those veterans. However, that means they're a little bit behind when it comes to fundraising, right? Getting support for that.
Yes.
So we've been a supporter of them, and I'd like to continue being a supporter of them. And then I didn't really expect this year, but they did it. They gave us, I forgot the trophy at home, darn it. That
was a gorgeous award.
Yeah, they gave us a veteran advocate or partner of the year sort of stuff, and it was at the Scoreball Center, and I really liked it. There was something calming about those lights in there. It was pretty
a beautiful venue.
I've been to Scoreball before, but I think because I was a bit tainted because of the meetings that I've gone in way in the past, they were kind of tense, their business, that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. This was more relaxed. This was, although the auctioneer, he goes,
oh my goodness.
He's like, this is the last time. I'm like, I was applauding that it was his last time, and Kevin Niles gave me a dirty look. Yeah. I'm like, maybe.
Fundraising is hard.
What?
Fundraising is a hard.
It is very, very, very hard. And I think
everyone was generous. They did well.
Did they?
For a good cause.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And I do hear that there are a lot of generous people out there. I just haven't ran into the ones that I need for military veteran entertainment. But it's been a really, really good. It's been a really good last 8 days. So then, any more on New Directions? I just love them.
Well, we do want to give one compliment to the actual host and chair and director of their board, and also to Larry, who is part of our post.
Right, Larry Williams. This guy, he's old school. I know he wouldn't mind me saying that. He's not into... he follows technology, so I'm not saying that he isn't, but he'd rather pick up the phone and call the person. He's always been that. So when I have a problem with Larry and he says, hold on, let me get Leo on the line, which is the CEO of New Directions. I'm saying, Larry, you don't have to call the CEO. No, I'm calling the CEO right now. This is today, actually. And I've had so many, situations like that. In fact, when we were looking for the space for the storage for the distribution center, same thing. Called Leo. He called John Kahn from Culver City, and next thing you know, we got a retail space out there. So Larry's really, really special. And from what I know now, he was alumni of New Directions and one of the founders.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, I don't know if you knew that. So he's got tons of sobriety, 38 years or something like that, way up there. And he also was a Vietnam veteran, so I have a lot of passion for Vietnam veterans. So, and he did some, I think, combat time, and he drives this. Have you seen his car?
No.
He's got this yellow Mustang with lights underneath the car, the undercarriage. So when he drives, he's lighting up the roadway, and he's got two gigantic mufflers. So when he starts the car, it'll scare you. If you're not paying attention. And I'm like, it's a lot of times when I hear cars like that, it's obnoxious. But knowing that it's Larry, I'm like, okay, it was kind of cool. Yeah. But it's like, it's like really loud in the parking lot. It's like, dude, what? And so I don't know. That's his style. I know it's kind of his style. All right, so New Directions, and then I ran into you at the military ball for the Star Post.
That was amazing. The Veterans Ball was incredible. We also honored our LA sheriffs, and that one got me. That one got me as well.
Yeah.
On the patriotic time when the colors were posted and everyone got into the event, because we honored the fallen. That always gets me.
Yes.
They had two tables, not just POW, MIA that we honor with our heart and our soul, right? But they had the LA Sheriff's Fallen soldier table as well.
I really like that.
Remarkable event.
They really took a special time to do that. And then they did the same thing that we do now with the Vietnam veterans. Hey, if you're a Vietnam veteran, please stand up. I really, really like that. So, and also one thing I didn't, one thing that I liked is that the few years that I've been there, it's been like super loud, like the music somehow it's just like you can't even talk.
Yes.
It was like the right volume. I think that's just going to be one of those traditions that we as a post out here in 283. That's our ball. So we go to the Veterans Ball. And they haven't changed the venue. It's been at the same place. But it seems like it's just right. It's just totally right. With the patio, the restrooms where they are. It's not, you're not tight. It's got enough space. There's all kinds of things to do. And then they had the special guest, Stephen Graham, for Sheepdog.
That was amazing.
I haven't seen the movie yet, but if you are a moviegoer, you should check out Sheepdog, which will be coming out in December.
Yes.
And they're doing it, I don't know if you know this or not, but they're doing it very limited release, very, very private. But they're doing it so they can be eligible for the Oscars.
Oh, my.
So there's talk that they may be Oscar noted, worthy, or I don't know how they know that. But
yes.
So that's really, really
incredible. I want to thank Commander Lee for giving me the sheriff's pin. They had an amazing
what's he a commander
red
of?
carpet area of Star Post 309.
That's what I thought.
Yes.
I don't know why I was blanking.
You know him very well, yes.
I do, but I don't think I've ever pictured him as a commander there because it's always been Ernie, and not Ernie, but I've always seen Ernie on the stage or in the microphone, and then there's another guy there, I can't remember his name at the moment, and he hadn't been as visible as those guys are. Okay.
And their third vice, Charles Duncan, graduated the American Legion College with us. He was amazing. That's how I was invited. And then the Post had the tables, and it was just fun to be there with you. And the women outnumbered the men.
I was just about to say that. It was the first time ever that the women outnumbered the men, in attendance at that table. So actually, Jim and I felt pretty special.
Yes. Junior Past Commander Craig, we love you.
Yeah,
he has quite a personality at a formal dinner.
Oh, he
got
sure
a chance
does.
to know you both much better.
Yeah. And, he in some ways, I see him get a lot of credit. But it's kind of interesting that I would say it this way. In some ways, there's stuff that he does that he doesn't get credit for. I see him sacrifice in a way that people don't realize. And I've said this before, and I'll use this example again. Maybe you'll get tired of it. I remember I came here one of the days, during not too long after the fire, and we're gathering people in here as getting resources coordinated, put together so people can come here. And I'm seeing him over there at Veterans Park, or in that area, and he's wearing his yellow vest, and he's talking to the police, he's talking to security, he's talking to DWP. He walks back up here, and then he was talking to more people, and he was just like drenched in sweat. He's got this yellow vest on, and then I think they did an interview of him right afterwards, and I'm thinking they have no idea. I mean, they recognize him for his efforts, but the dude is like deep into supporting and doing what he has to do. And so that's when I said, okay, I got mad respect. It's like,
definitely.
This is not just imagery here. This guy's really, really invested in trying to do what he can to, and the guy's he's a special, I keep messing this up. He's special operations, special forces, special something.
He's special everything.
Yeah, special everything.
30 years.
Yeah, so he's one of those guys that, one time he was saying something. He says, I've never lost a target. And then I said, well, what do you mean by that? And he says, well, that's something I probably can't, embellish on, sort of like, okay, so this guy's pretty badass.
He sure is. And now he's even more bad because he's the Citizen of the Year for the city of Los Angeles. That is an award that can barely even touch what he's contributed and sacrificed to help.
And also, too, I was telling him this on Saturday night. It was the first time I saw a politician trying to get in the picture. Usually it's us trying to get in the picture, when we're in public events. We're trying to get, a picture with a celebrity. He was a celebrity that day or whenever they did it. So that's really, really cool. All right. Well, wrapping this up, because I've kind of been here a while. After the ball, I went to a film screening of a woman by the name of Nadine Ramsey. She was one of the first women aviators and combat pilots in World War II. So they made a documentary on that. So we anticipate some press on that. So we just want to make sure I mention that. And then coming up, anything on the top of your head you want the viewers to know what's coming up?
A fellow woman Legionnaire, and I went to see Sheepdog. It was an absolutely amazing film.
You saw it?
I actually saw it.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yes.
I'm jealous now.
Stephen Graham at the Star Post
I didn't get the invite.
Invited me.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
He
invited me too. But...
I'm the historian.
No, he didn't invite me.
Anyway, they had an extra.
Well, you're good.
Screening.
I see you work the room. You're really, really good. No question about it.
I'm learning from the best.
No, I see you. He's like, whoa. And then there's Stephen Graham, and then Dallas. No, I saw a few of those.
It was really amazing. Yeah, Virginia Madsen. Oh my goodness, what an actress! And then we saw the movie movie, and what struck me best about it is that their extensive research and going to the VA and gathering the stories from veterans, you could literally see how much they applied a real life story of what veterans go through, from triumph through that travail that they had to come through.
Well, when he spoke Saturday night,
yes,
I was starting to get the feeling that this movie was deeper than what I thought. So,
Yes.
and you're kind of
my fellow Army soldier and I cried. Like, I was sobbing at
I heard that too.
point in the movie. Yeah, it
Okay.
was very
All right.
well done.
All right.
Very
Well, then
done.
I'll get ready because,
Get ready.
Marines don't cry.
Marines.
No. Actually, I'm a big baby. as actually, years after I got out of the Marine Corps, and I met my wife. I had all this pain built up that I never released, and so somehow she got it out of me. And for a while, I think I cried for like 2 weeks, and then I got it out of my system.
Yes.
But so now I'm not afraid
We
of.
have to be selective with our crying, but yeah.
Yeah.
I think Marines don't cry is a good slogan while you're in and on the battlefield, but not when you get out.
Right. Okay. Yeah, because you don't want things to ball up.
Selectively.
All right. So, what else is going on in December?
Coming up, even though the post is going to be dark, I do want to say another thing about be the one. Continue to be the one, because factual statistics show, and you can ask your local police department, that suicides are up more than 47% just in November and December from Thanksgiving to Christmas.
Right.
So if you see anyone around you that is withdrawn or showing any signs of depression, anxiety, suicidal ideations,
don't shake them up.
Yes.
Use
the acronym ACE.
Okay, ACE.
Ask them if they're okay, care about them, and escort them to professional help.
Okay.
Reporting
Escort
live.
them?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, I will say, and I'm glad we're talking about this, because sometimes we need to encourage because people are shy. They don't want to help, or they don't know how to help, put it that way. I've been I'm an assertive type of guy anyway, so I will. Mm-hmm. But I've heard quite a bit like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. Well, sometimes don't think about it. Just do it. It kind of, right?
Yes.
Like,
just do it. Take the initiative and listen. That's all you have to do. Most people, if they're ever on the ledge, they just need an ear. That's it. And then only interject at the right time. And if you're unsure, the escorting is where you say, I think I should introduce you to my friend, Joe Ramirez. I think that he could give you some really great insight on this topic.
Well, yeah.
Escort them, patch them
wherever
over to someone else.
Yeah, okay.
And the VA hotline is always a good one to call.
Right. No, I'm so glad you brought that up. All right, so we'll close out, and maybe we'll do one more, and then after that, I'm just going to turn it completely over to you.
Awesome.
But I like the fact that we're having a conversation here as a way of people getting to know us, and also what we're going through behind the scenes, and then some of our events, and then people can kind of join us. We've been having a lot of fun lately. They're not easy, so we're always needing volunteers. It's a labor of love sometimes, right? Things pop up at the last minute, but if you want to serve, you want to be a part of us, give us a call, alpost283.com, alpost283.com. I'm Joe Ramirez.
I'm Christina Silva.
And we'll see you next time.
Peace out and Semper Fi.